please welcome to the stage now the Vice President of External Affairs for Comcast Houston Region, Mr. Ray Purser.
Hello again. So now it is my distinct pleasure to introduce someone who is no doubt a history maker here in the city of Houston, as well as the state of Texas, if not for the entire country. Mayor Sylvester Turner makes history every day. His first 2 years in office have been an incredible success and have included such accomplishments as eliminating a $160 million budget shortfall. Woo! There's more. He championed historic pension reform that we had been plaguing our city for over 17 years. The first mayor to be able to do that. Something near and dear to my heart, filling 90,000 potholes. You're close to your heart too. More importantly and most recently, he is working tirelessly to help our city recover after Hurricane Harvey and is working really, really hard to reduce flooding and come up with a better drainage plan, something that we know our city needs. So you all know how active our mayor is. We see him at least once a week, sometimes twice, 3 times, sometimes 4, at various community events. He is certainly aware of Comcast's work in the community and our commitment to diversity and inclusion. He asked Comcast to collaborate with him to create this event for the African American community, and thus the birth of the Mayor's History Makers Awards. So Mayor, we are so proud to partner with you today to recognize these 10 outstanding individuals who are, like you, are making history every day in the city of Houston. Please welcome Mayor Sylvester Turner.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see if I can reduce my 60-minute speech down to... Look, let me start off by, Ray, thank you. And Ray and I have been friends, not just Comcast, but friends for many, many years. So thank you for your service and what you do. Steve, thank you for coming in from Denver. To get up early this morning and fly to Houston is very much appreciated. Your remarks were right on time. We look forward to having you back in Houston many, many more times. Give it up again to Steve White. Thank you, man. And do give my regards to Mayor Hancock. He is a super mayor in Denver. Cambrell, what can we say? We were with you a week ago Friday at the YMCA, and then you're MCing today. That's just what you do, and you do it extremely well. So thank you so very, very much, Cambrell Marshall. Comcast as a whole, thank you. On so many levels, Comcare cares. You give over and over and over and over again. You just keep doing that. So Comcast is just a major, major corporate partner in the city of Houston. Can't thank them enough. Give it up for Comcast as a whole one more time. Yolanda, thank you. Thank you so very much. I'm mentioning it as an idea. You brought it into reality along with Comcast, so I can't thank you. For all of the city council members who are here, Vice Mayor Pro Tem Jerry Davis, thank you, man, for what you are doing. Councilmember Brenda Stardick, she has a major event on Sunday, big party in the park. Councilmember Jack Christie is here, you know. Dave Martin, he knows how to push. The feds passed the bill the other day, this morning. Councilmember Dave Martin. Councilmember Robert Gallegos, where is he? Councilmember Robert Gallegos, thank you so very much. Thank you, man, for what you're doing. And Commissioner Grady Prestis, thank you so very much for being out here from Fort Bend. Thank you. Won't talk long because the focus today is on these history makers, these 10 outstanding individuals. And let me just say, there literally could be 1,000 people that can be acknowledged in the city of Houston. So many people who are giving so much. I just want to thank them for being a part of this very, very special month. And the good news is that it's not just based on age or longevity and all of that. We have people who are being honored who are young, but they are bridge makers nonetheless. Because they're laying down stones that others are going to be walking on. They're making vital contributions, and they are young, and they need to be acknowledged for what they are doing. And then there are people like Dr. Freeman, who's just in a kind of a class of his own. And anybody who's been teaching for some 67 years at one institution, Texas Southern University, a debate coach rearing debate champions, and they are all over the world. That just speaks for itself. So from the very youngest to those who may be a little bit older or wiser, and then for people who can take us to space, Dr. Bernard Harris, going back to the days of the University of Houston, and now going to space, some incredible people. I was listening to Steve and listening to his story. The reality is that so many of us have similar stories. And yet where we are today. God has just been good. He's blessed us all. It is about, Steve, I agree with you, it's about finding your purpose. It's about finding your purpose. And I was telling Steve, because he was asking, what kind of motivated me and da-da-da-da-da. And I was simply saying to him when I was coming up and was at the family church, before the church where I am today, but Pastor, when I was at my family church, my pastor, who became my surrogate father after my dad died, thought I was going to be a preacher. And so when I told him I was going to law school, he said, let's pray. True story. I said, I'm still going to law school. So when I came back, he made me chairman of the trustee board at the church. And I was the youngest trustee at the church. And then I decided I was going to run for the legislature. So he said, and I told him, I said, Pastor, I'm going to run for the legislature. He said, let's pray. He said, you're going to be a politician? I said, well, you make it sound so negative. So he said, but, for 12 consecutive years, you've been my youth day speaker on Sunday morning at the service, and I just knew the Lord was moving you in another direction. So he said, let's pray and let's hold hands. We prayed, and I said, I'm still running for the legislature. And so what he then decided, he said, well, then let me offer you this advice. Then treat your public service as your ministry, and God will be pleased. And I think that's all what we're all trying to do. Let our service be our ministry. And for these 10 honorees, their service, their contribution in so many ways represent their ministry, whether here on earth or whether in space, whether it's at school, whether it's in some business, whether it's through volunteerism, they are making contributions. And the today's acknowledgement doesn't mean that it's there at the end. It's simply a recognition of where they are at this moment in time. And quite frankly, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, they could be recognized again, because you don't stop in your service until, as one lady said in Acres Home, Ruby Mosley said, you only stop when there is no gasoline left in your vehicle, and then you're forced to park your car. Until then, you keep driving. And that's what it's all about. So thank you all for being here. That ends my remarks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Am I supposed to stand up here?
I think you and somebody else are here, so good. Thank you, Mayor. We are so blessed. We had a 30-minute speech that ended up being 10, and a 60-minute speech that ended up being 10. So we should just go out and play some lottery tickets now, too. We are so lucky. State Rep Ron Reynolds is also here. I think he came in a little bit later. State Rep, where are you? He was in here shaking hands. Okay. It's time for us to get to the portion of the program I know that many of you have been waiting for. It's a tribute to our 2018 Mayor's History Makers honorees. Now, in addition to being recognized this afternoon, each honoree will be featured in a 30-second public service announcement that will be on air on Comcast Houston, so that's another benefit of being honored today. Comcast would also like to further advance the great work that you're doing in your community, so each of them will be receiving a $1,000 check to be given to the community-based organization of their choice. I will tell you the honorees have chosen the Association for the Advancement of Mexican Americans, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Houston, the Chauncey Glover Project, the Children's Museum of Houston, the Chinese Community Center, Goodwill Industries of Houston, the Harris Institute, Rare Pearls Incorporated, United Way of Greater Houston, Bright Beginnings, and Texas Southern University Foundation. Congratulations to all of your nonprofit organizations. Now on with the show. Our first honoree is Barbara Curtis. She is a dynamic woman whose life has been dedicated to service through ministry. In a world filled with reality shows and mixed messages for teens, Barbara is taking her message of hope to high school girls, inspiring them to be the star in their own life.
The mission of Red Pearls is to equip high school girls with the skills, values, confidence, and faith needed in order to fulfill their potential and become productive women of excellence. I'm actually a graduate of Ross Shaw Sterling High School. So when I first got the vision to start Red Pearls, it was just natural that Sterling was one of the first campuses that we approached. Just want to do a little checkup today to see how the college prep plans are coming along. I realized very early on the value of mentors and positive role models in the lives of young girls. I'm an example of the difference that it makes. And I always wanted to help other girls, to allow them the opportunity to have the same chance that I did. Serving others is a part of my faith. I believe that we're blessed in order to be a blessing to others. I'm always amazed by Anitra Piper and others who are part of HISD because we have several who are actually a part of our mentoring program. Working with these young girls, knowing that what I'm doing is making a difference that will last beyond my life, that will impact future generations. It's an opportunity for me to leave a legacy.
Congratulations to Barbara Curtis, 2018 Mayor's History Makers honoree. Congratulations again. It is time now to celebrate Pamela Jubera Davis. Pamela? Pamela is committed to changing young lives by providing inner city students across access to experiences that open up a world of possibilities.
As you can tell, I am a member of a minority community, and for me it's very important to have that representation on the board, working with the museum. People don't know it, but we serve underprivileged children everywhere and in places you would never think we are. We come up with the most innovative ideas to reach everybody. I see them being children, I see them learning, but I see the happiness and the joy, and I love that. They've never been to the Galleria. And when they come by bus to the Children's Museum, it's just a whole new world. And they're like, oh, oh, I can do this? My relationship with Tammy is so easy and comfortable. We work together to get things done. It's wonderful. I have been working with the museum for many years, even when it was on Allen Parkway. We couldn't reach that many kids, and now, I mean, we are reaching, quite honestly, we're reaching children worldwide with some of our programs. This award gives me further confirmation that I'm doing the right thing, that I'm on the right track. Gandhi said, we must be the change we wish to see in the world. And that's the only way we can change the world, is that we are the change. Just to know that I have the opportunity to help someone. Just to know that I'm making life better for someone, somewhere, somehow. That is my reward enough.
Congratulations to Pamela Jubera Davis, 2018 Mayor's History Makers honoree. Congratulations, Pamela Jubera Davis. Our next honoree, did I hear somebody keeping us on pace here? Marilyn Douglas Jones. Marilyn gives tirelessly of her time and talent. She's a devoted advocate driven by a passion to help immigrants achieve their American dream.
Well, Houston in general, as a community of immigrants from everywhere in the world, they are motivated in a way that you don't normally see on an everyday basis. They're not as tentative about trying something or learning something new. It becomes more exciting. It's wonderful to see people come from a place of insecurity and gain confidence along the way. The most important transformation that I see is going from insecurity to confidence in what they're learning and doing, and feeling more happy about the position they're in, knowing it's not the end, it's the beginning. My most rewarding experience as a mentor has been to have students return and thank me or send their children to be mentored as well, and just to see them transform into more confident human beings and share their successes. I mentor students when they come to the college level. I help them navigate being more professional, building that job readiness. It's exciting. It keeps me young to sort of, despite my hair, it keeps me young to keep helping young people, and also to help people my age still, to realize they can do it no matter what.
Congratulations, Marilyn Douglas Jones. Congratulations, Marilyn. Our next honoree is Carol Freeman. Carol. For over 3 decades, she's quietly worked behind the scenes, serving as a volunteer at Boys and Girls Club. Because of her dedication and passion for youth, she's assisted more than 1,500 members to receive funding to pursue a higher education.
I've been fortunate to be here with the Boys and Girls Club for 33 years now. I volunteer because it makes me feel good, and I know that I can make a positive impact on many others. I have a great passion for reaching youth that are at risk. This is one of the gifts that I am most thankful for. We all have a gift in life, and that gift should be shared. And you're only waiting on responses from the universities? I've been able to show them that they are worth something and they have a purpose in life. They have what it takes. They have the key to opportunity within their own hand. If we don't invest in them, they cannot invest in us, and we need them. Believe me, great futures start here. I'd like to say that what I have done has mattered. It has mattered to those that I have touched and to those that have been touched and are now touching others. These youth have the ability to make an impact that is greater than any that I've ever made myself. I want them to go forward in life and to pursue their dreams. In their pursuing their own dreams, they'll help us to live out ours.
Congratulations, Carol Freeman. Congratulations, Carol Freeman. We now salute Dr. Bernard Harris, Jr. Believe it or not, it was on this day, February 9th of 1995, 23 years ago today, that Dr. Harris became the first African American to walk in space. This acclaimed physician and businessman now spends his time inspiring students to reach for the stars.
It is important for me, given my background, to make sure that any kid that has a dream, that has an ambition, have the ability to fulfill that dream as I have. That's the most important investment that I can make in the young people in our community. And so to be able to go into that neighborhood as a physician, as an astronaut, and now in business, to say that, you know, I was like you many years ago, and look what I'm doing now. And seeing the light bulb go off in the kids' eyes, that there is a possibility that I could be like Dr. Harris, or I could fulfill my dream. To me, wow, that's the rewarding aspect of this. Cynthia Briggs has just been remarkable. She helped me in our discussions together sort of forge this partnership. At the program level, there is Angelica Adams, who is responsible for helping us identify the schools, but also the folks on their staff. They'll be working with our staffs and with the juvenile probation officer in order to carry the program out. When a young student comes up after, you know, I've told my story and say, "Can I give you a hug?" That is the greatest reward that I think anyone could have.
Congratulations, Dr. Bernard Harris, Jr. Congratulations, Dr. Harris. We now salute Dr. Bobby Henderson. Dr. Henderson understands the value and importance of a quality early education. Her life's work revolves around ensuring that our most precious gifts start life with bright beginnings.
My association with United Way began when I needed assistance. When someone opens up a door for you, and it's almost like United Way gave me hope that helped me to smile at tomorrow. It doesn't matter what your need is, they're going to reach out to help. And their collaborative partners are pulled in to help make those kinds of things happen. So of course you want to be a part of something like that. And that's what made me start volunteering for United Way. Bright Beginnings takes little children and their parents and their caregivers, and they make what we may consider nobodies into somebodies. And they feel that kind of confidence when they go to big school, if you will, and know, I'm a Bright Beginnings kid, I can tackle this school just like nothing.
What Bobby brings and continues to bring to United Way Bright Beginnings is consistency, is compassion, and passion for the program.
So I see a caring, and I see potential, and I see growth, and I see development, and I just see an overall bright future. And probably that's why it's called Bright Beginnings.
Congratulations, Dr. Bobby Henderson. Congratulations, Dr. Henderson. Our next honoree is Alexa Orange Allen. Alexa is a West Point graduate, Army veteran, and former Olympian. And through all of her success and accolades, she receives her greatest joy in serving others.
Volunteering and serving goodwill has been one of the most enjoyable and rewarding experiences in my life. And so volunteering allows me to serve others, and it also gives me a sense of purpose. It helps me live within my purpose, which is to make a difference in the lives of others. Goodwill has done an awesome job of really letting volunteers know that we make a difference. Working with the Goodwill staff is awesome. The staff has been very, very supportive of volunteers. They do an excellent job of integrating our skills, our efforts, our energies to help achieve the goals and the objectives of the organization. Kim has a role in everything, and so it's been such a pleasure working with her. She is the consummate professional and advocate for others, so I really enjoy working with her. When I do the work with Goodwill, it's different from any work that I do because I'm volunteering, and I know that I'm making a difference, that lives are being changed, that individuals have hope, that families have hope. And that's all that anyone could ask for.
Congratulations, Alexa Orange Allen. Congratulations. We now celebrate Michael Pearson. A banker by trade, Michael volunteers at the Chinese Community Center, using his business acumen and organizational skills to help transform an entire community.
They show up here in a foreign land. Many of them have no mastery of the language, but they are here for the same reason many others are here, the promise of the American dream. And so if I can help facilitate those types of individuals coming in to be a part of our dynamic, diverse society. I want to be right in the center of that. I think that we all should have not the guaranteed success, but the opportunity. And that is a very critical part of a vibrant, successful society. I don't do what I do because someone is noticing it. I do what I do because it brings me a peace of mind, and it satisfies a need that I have, which is to help those who are not quite as fortunate as I am, to help those who need just a little bit of guidance, just a little bit of direction to help reset their path. It is for me a joy to be able to spend my time in this way. When I retire, I intend to continue even more vigorously, giving of myself to help improve Houston, our great state of Texas, and the United States.
Congratulations, Michael Pearson. You know, I want him to break off into some Chinese for us. You know that, right? Okay. I think I know what that was. Okay, today we honor Christina Porter. Christina is a millennial on a mission to help young black men achieve success.
The Chauncey Glover Project is a hands-on mentoring organization that was created for inner-city males, Black and Hispanic. Working with high school boys, to me, it's wonderful to be able to sit with them and listen to their dreams and listen to what things that they want to do, but sometimes they just don't know how to get there. I feel I'm called to be an advocate for these kids because I have the passion and I have the will and determination to do what's necessary to make them feel as though they can be anything in the world that they want to be. Sometimes all it takes is just one person to believe that you can do something, for you to believe in yourself that you can do just that. Maya Angelou once said that, you know, people will remember what you did, they will remember what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And so that's something that I try to, you know, remember every day when I'm interacting with students, with their families, and it's all about, you know, how did you make that person feel? Did you make them feel empowered? Did you make them feel a little bit better about, you know, any obstacles that they may be facing, or make them feel like they can overcome and climb mountains and reach anything that they wanted to do? To me, it's a labor of love.
Congratulations, Christina Porter. Congratulations. As we continue to celebrate Houstonians that are making history by making a difference, there's one honoree whose life's work has made an undeniable imprint on the city of Houston. And just 98 years young, Dr. Thomas Freeman is a powerful speaker with a commanding presence. This famous debate coach is ingrained in the fabric of Texas Southern University, where he served on staff for over 6 decades, providing leadership to countless students, from the late Congresswoman Barbara Jordan to the millennials of today. We celebrate Dr. Thomas F. Freeman as the 2018 Living Legend honoree.
For the past 68 years, Dr. Thomas Freeman has taught and influenced generation after generation of college students. Dr. Freeman is best known for coaching Texas Southern University's highly acclaimed debate team, which has won hundreds of awards, has traveled the globe, and helped desegregate college forensics.
Age means nothing. And they stimulate and motivate me, as I hope I may stimulate and motivate them in interacting with each other. We don't interact as one who has retired. We interact with the coach of the debate team. Tell us what it was like the first time you met T.F. Freeman.
I came in, he gave me a poetry piece, there were some words that I wouldn't say in front of my grandfather, and I kept skipping over them, and he yelled. That was the first time Dr. Freeman yelled at me, and I'll never forget because it still scares me to this day.
He told me, forget everything you learned in the high school. This is completely new.
And he said, sit down. You're talented. I believe in you. And I know you can do this.
It's more than just the joy in working with them. It's watching them grow and develop into mature, competent beings.
And this is the man who taught my idol, Barbara Jordan. And when he met me, I was shy and soft-spoken. And he asked me, he said, why are you not speaking up? I can't hear you.
I had 4 students in my class in logic, not debate, in logic. And I assigned a debate to the class. I coached them for about 3 months and then took them to the University of Chicago and Harvard, at which schools they won both decisions. I didn't choose debate. Debate chose me.
It's just so many things that are already there, and TF knows how to just snatch it out and pull it out of you just to say, you had it all along. I just showed you how to get it.
They love me, I love them. In fact, without them, my life would be empty.